Today's breaking news story straight from the Senate floor. Mitch McConnell is finally getting what he deserves.
Finally, about damn time.
And no, that is not a watermelon for him to munch on, which he can be seen doing here at a much more youthful point in his career, but rather, Glitch received an absolute smackdown that you won't want to miss from his Democratic colleague after Glitch tried to complain about Democrats using his own tactics against him. During a Senate floor session on Monday, McConnell said he was alarmed after hearing that two judges might not follow through with plans to retire in light of Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 presidential election.
It's a brazen admission, and the incoming administration would be wise to explore all available recusal options with these judges, because it's clear now that they have a political finger on the scale. This sort of partisan behavior undermines the integrity of the judiciary. It exposes bold Democrat blue where there should only be black robes. But it would be essentially alarming if either of the two circuit judges whose announced retirements created these vacancies currently pending before the Senate in Tennessee and in North Carolina were actually to follow suit. Never before has a circuit judge unretired after a presidential election. It's literally unprecedented. And to create such a precedent would fly in the face of rare bipartisan compromise on the disposition of these vacancies. To borrow from President Obama, elections have consequences. Judicial role.
Okay, I know riveting stuff from the human DNV over here, but did he just say to borrow from Obama? As if that's not exactly what he did when he borrowed his Supreme Court appointment?
Remember when President Obama nominated Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court? Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell refused to give that a vote, saying, well, it's only one full year before the election. It's too close.
I simply ask Republicans in the Senate to give him a fair hearing and then an up or down vote. If you don't, then it will not only be an abdication of the Senate's constitutional duty, it will indicate a process for nominating and confirming judges that is beyond repair.
Let's let the American people decide.
Within minutes, Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said no.
If these circuit judges unretire because they don't like who won the election, I can only assume they will face significant ethics complaints based on Canons 2 and 5 of the Code of Conduct of U.S. judges, followed by serial recusal demands from the Department of Justice. And they'll have earned it.
Have you no shame, Turtle Man?
As I repeatedly warned the judiciary and other matters, if you play political games, expect political prizes.
Really hypocritical stuff, but luckily, Senator Durbin was there to deliver this retort.
Madam President, as chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, the filling of judicial vacancies has been the focal point of my political attention now for 4 years. I listened carefully to my colleague from Kentucky explain his concerns about the filling of 4 circuit court vacancies and the possibility, and I don't know for any certainty, but the possibility that 2 of those 4 judges have decided not to retire, but to stay on the bench. And he raises a question about whether that's fair. Well, I'd like to call the Senate's attention to the fact that there was a moment in time when we were shocked to learn that Supreme Court Justice Anton Scalia had died while on a hunting trip. So the President Obama, said he was going to set out to fill the vacancy created by the death of Anton Scalia. And he was proposing his nominee, Merrick Garland, the judge then at the time, who's now our Attorney General.
Smash cut 2 months before a presidential election. Trump nominates Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court after the completely unforeseeable death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And as you can imagine, the Democrats went right to the nearby Kinko's.
Behind me is the McConnell rule. On February 13th, 2016, when Justice Scalia passed away, Senator McConnell said, and I quote, "This vacancy should not be filled until we have a new president."
And so Amy Coney Barrett was forced to head back to her homestead, never to be heard from they didn't give a
So when I hear the senator come to the floor from Kentucky and talk about whether there's any gamesmanship going on, I don't know. But I will tell you that we saw it at the highest possible level in filling the vacancy on the Supreme Court when Anton Scalia passed away. I think what the American people are looking for is fair play. That's not unreasonable. And they're looking for qualified nominees. I'm happy to report that well over 50% of the nominees that have gone through under the Biden administration for the federal courts have been bipartisan. I'm going to check on the exact number and enter into the record at this point. But it's a dramatic majority that have been bipartisan. And every single federal nominee from President Biden has been judged well qualified or better by the American Bar Association. That was not the case under previous administration of President Trump. And it makes a difference whether a person has the quality, background, and the integrity to serve on the court.
And don't get me wrong, I am incredibly happy that Democrats' judicial nominees have integrity. And Durbin gave a good speech, but where the f has that gotten us? We can still have integrity, but we cannot beat Republicans by sticking to the norms.
Because they don't give a f about your norms. They will exploit any loophole, even if they have to go through clearly closed windows to do it.
So if Republicans are gonna be the party of play political games and literally win all of the political prizes, Democrats need to reinvent themselves as the party of f around and find out. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you in the next one.